Yo, good day, guys. We are live from the vault, Petersen Auto Museum. And dude, it has been a fantastic day. And of course, we always have our Homer Simpson walking behind us.
Tom from Lake Country.
Tom from Lake Country. So we are, man, it has been an epic day.
Yeah, a couple of days just down here in the bowels of the Petersen Museum, which is where I actually belong. It's in the bowels of any museum. So
and we've been busy. I mean,
yeah,
you've been over here on this Galaxy 500. A team's been on the Buick. I've been on with the
Tim Allen
Cadillac, and it's been epic. And we have the honor of hanging out with Shervin. How you doing?
Good. How about you?
So, dude, it's like I said, it's amazing. So, what do you do? Because you have a unique job here at the museum.
Yeah. So I'm an associate curator here at the Petersen Automotive Museum. I've been doing this almost a year now.
A year?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, well, it's super fun. And so what does an associate curator do?
Well, basically, it all kind of goes under the umbrella of planning out exhibits. So in the museum, we have about 11 different exhibits per year of all different sizes and areas in the museum. And each exhibit has a lot of planning that goes into it, a lot of brainstorming, a lot of research, and basically picking cars, picking themes, and trying to basically find cars that are suitable for those exhibits.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of what I do is basically planning out those exhibits and then going after and finding those cars.
Well, you and I were having lunch together over there in the corner, and you kind of have a unique story about how you got the job. So let's hear that story, because I think that is really cool.
Yeah, so I've always had a background. I've always had a passion, rather, for cars of all sorts. I mean, that dates back to when I was basically a baby. I was pointing out cars. I wanted to know what they were. And so that kind of carried on throughout my whole life. And maybe about 2 or 3 years ago, I had this project van myself. It was a 1974 Ford Econoline that was originally an old telephone van with a bell system. And it was a passion project. And when it came time to sell it, which was difficult, but I kind of knew I couldn't continue the restoration, I made this basically short documentary film about it in a fun, entertaining way, and I put it on YouTube. And then I sold the van on Bring a Trailer. When I was selling the van, I reached out to probably about 30 different museums across the U.S. because I thought, what kind of home would be good for this van? And I thought of either a really good car museum or a really good telecommunications museum, because it was a telephone van.
Yeah.
And everybody loved it, but being a restoration project, a lot of museums don't really do that. So there was a lot of enthusiasm, but no museum actually ended up taking it. Van was sold. It went off to a good home, and a few months later, I had relocated down to Southern California, and I was looking to see if there was anything on the job market that I would be able to combine my skills with, but also be able to apply to cars. And I looked on the Petersen's website. I saw this position for associate curator, and started reading through the job description, and I said, I think I could do that, and I think I already kind of do that, so yeah. I might as well apply. And they remembered me from the van.
That's awesome.
Wow. Well, and the video is very memorable. If you go out to YouTube and search for the
So what is the title? What is the title of it?
It's a pretty long title, but if you search Bell System Van on YouTube, it'll be one of the first ones. The full title is How I Rescued a Rare Bell System Telephone Van.
And it is really entertaining.
Yeah. But you're also kind of freaky like me in that you have several cars. So we were talking about that yesterday, and it doesn't really matter what they are. They're cars. You have several of them, and that's great because that really kind of shows that passion, which is everybody here in the museum. So you've been here a year. I had a job where I did something like I was into aftermarket hot rod parts. And so is it still as exciting to come to work every day as it was when you first started?
It is. And what really keeps that going is the constant changing of exhibits. So one thing that really sets the Petersen apart from other museums is that things are not stagnant here.
No.
So if you come in on Monday and you come back maybe next week, you're probably going to see at least one car in the museum that's not where it was last time.
Yeah.
And even actually day to day, I see that myself.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's 6 cars that have changed down here since yesterday.
Since yesterday,
They've moved
yeah,
6 cars.
Exactly.
And we were talking about just the logistics of that. I mean, if you look behind us where the cars are side by side and stuff here, just to try to figure out how to get the one that's in the back in the front, you have to move 3. And of course, some of these are priceless cars. So to move it out of the way, there's a certain amount of stress every time you move a car that is there. So, I mean, a lot of people come in here and it's really, you can get so up close to these cars. You can literally look inside of them as opposed to being, you know, behind a barrier. But moving them around, you out there in YouTube land, if you think about just the fact that how scary it would be to have a multi-million-dollar car in front of you, and you have to move it out of the way to get another one in, and then put this one back. So, do you guys have certain protocols when it's moving a car or pushing a car? And I know you have some special equipment, but
A lot of it depends on the actual car and where it comes from. If it's something that the museum owns or was donated to the museum at some point, we have typically a lot more flexibility on how we move it and how we handle it. If it's on loan from a private lender, there are oftentimes certain instructions and certain,
oh yeah.
We have a car in here, for instance, that it's a 1995 BMW M3 lightweight, which, if you know it, there were only 126 of those made. And of those 126, they're very rare, very sought after these days. This one only has 48 miles.
Oh my gosh! So you're not driving.
You're not driving
around.
that anywhere.
So that's where something like the Stringo machine that we have, that comes in really handy.
Yeah, and I know you guys, last time we were here, we got to work on, you guys have a 356 Porsche that literally has minimal miles on it. It's absolutely gorgeous, all original. It's the same way. It was you're going to push this, nobody's driving that. So,
Exactly.
But then on the other hand, you've got cars that people drive, that they'll actually drive in and drive out. This Galaxy that we've been talking about, it runs. So I'm sure when we moved it, somebody had a really good time moving that, even 20 feet. And then there's other cars that you might think it's an everyday ordinary car, but it has special meaning or special value. So you guys have like the very original, very first 901, which isn't, the 911 was originally a 901, but somebody else owned the patent on a car, the 901. I think it was Peugeot that owned it. So that one is the number 1. And the number 1 serial number of this certain Ferrari. Those are, I don't think you could put a value on them. I'm sure they're insured for an unbelievable amount of money, but you really can't put a value on one of one, right? I mean, that's one of the things and people that we've worked with before that don't understand cars. If you think about it, it is never going to happen again, right? You got King George's actual chariot, if you will, here. There's no value you can place on that. I mean, yeah, obviously there's an insurance value, but that will never again ever be here. Some of the 1914 and stuff like that. So that's what I really, really like about the Petersen Museum, is that every time you come in, it's a different exhibit. It's a different, like right now down in the vault, which is the basement, and it's where some really cool cars are. You can get so up close. There's a special exhibit room, and right now it's got the BMWs in there. It's all M3s, or not all M3s, but
it's basically 50 years of 3 Series racing, which later turned into the 4 Series by way of,
model number,
the 2-door model.
So last time we were here, that was James Hatfield's private collection. And then the next time we come here, that'll be something else. And I think it's just unique because you see the same cars. I mean, Steve McQueen's Jaguar is always going to be Steve McQueen's Jaguar. The Pope Mobile is always the Pope Mobile, but they move around and there's different stories about them, and you hear the history of it. Where did this one come from? Who owns this one? Where did it come from? And I think that's, whether it's a car that's a 2025 or whether it's a car that's a 1905, the story is the coolest part about it. The vehicles are super cool, and there's no taking away from that, but it's the stories themselves. And I think that is what's unique about the Petersen, is there's so many people that have given that story over to Petersen Auto Museum to actually continue to share that with generations. So Watching your video on that bell thing, I can see
was
why
fun.
I can see why they were like, we need that guy.
Yeah, we need that guy.
You know,
Dude,
that
the
'cause
depth
the
that
depth
you
that you
went
went into to find out
about
that
the,
stuff.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's
wow,
that's
the VIN
fantastic.
number.
Yeah, once I get going, I'm going all the way into as much as I can find out about the story, like you're saying.
I mean,
Yeah.
you went like, I mean, you doubled down geek. I mean, the
Yeah.
colors of the logos and the paint and the inches and the VIN and the weight.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you got to go watch that video.
So
It's a lot of
Tracy
fun.
and my wife, for those of you who don't know her name's Tracy, if you're watching, so when I dug into that Saab we used to own that was one of 43, I am not alone. There are other nerds in the world that want to know that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So
It's a special language.
it is a
That's right,
special
that's right.
language. Well, man, thank you so much for
Thank
taking the
you.
time. It's fun watching you actually participate in the paint correction today. So,
Yeah, there's a lot that I'm learning, and
Yeah.
it all. You kind of saw a little bit of what I was attempting to do on the van, but
Yeah.
now I'm learning how to actually
actually do the
properly.
work. Yeah, it's good. So, well, guys, as you can see, we're having an epic time every time we come to the Petersen Museum. It's just a memorable time. Plus, we're working with amazing people. I mean, we spent all morning paint correcting cars and getting our hands on all kinds of black.
Yep.
Every car we paint corrected today has been black.
But they're from different eras,
different
and some of them are
eras
single
and-
stage, some
Yeah.
of them are base coat, clear coat. One of them we don't know. This one behind us is Buick. It's been repainted. We don't know when or where, but it's repainted, and it's a single stage. And
That's metal and fiberglass.
that metal and
Metal
fiberglass, two different
fiberglass,
substrates
yeah.
that handle the paint correction differently.
Yep.
So it's there's a lot of science behind it, and I hope that people can actually understand the science that goes behind what everybody does. Because shiny car, everybody understands shiny car, but I don't think they really understand what it takes to make a car shiny, whether it's a wooden chariot or it's a super fast hot rod that
Yeah.
may leave with me. If David's not looking, that's coming home.
The problem is as soon as you fired it up, David would hear it.
David would know, and I can't get out of here.
He
because
already started it this morning, and that thing is.
I have a video. If you
beefy.
want to see the video, come talk to me.
It's one of the loudest cars I've ever.
Yeah, it's really good. So,
Yeah.
anyway, guys, thank you so much for tapping in. Shout out to all of the sponsors that are participating.
Yep.
Sonax, Lake Country, Auto Fiber, yours truly, RotaFest, Raynon,
Reno, RotaFest, Detail Bookie, Lake Country,
and Flex.
Yeah.
So can't
Auto
forget
Fiber, Flex.
Yeah, so it's been amazing. So you guys know, make sure you to like, share, and subscribe, and we will check you later. See ya. And we're out.